Yo, what's up guys? Terrell here from Terrell Game Vlogs. It seems like I've created like a weird Sunday regiment where like I do the gym stuff early to the later evening, eat, then dick around until like 11 to take a shower, then I take the shower, and then I say, you know what, I forgot to record a video. And then this happens. And then it ends up being like 12:30 in the morning and it's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, because what I'll do is I'll let the video upload at night. So anyways, I promised, I think 2 weeks ago, that I was going to make a video. If that video had gotten over 25 likes, I was going to make the video with my first girlfriend. I decided, fuck it, because actually it hit 30, I think it's at 38, 35 or 38 likes. So alright, cool, making the video about the first girlfriend. And side note, if you want me to, put like your, I know some of you guys, I like how so many people connected with the rambling about my love life video. If you want advice on things, because I saw there was one, I want to say girl because she was talking about a guy, but it could have been a guy, but I'm just going to take an assumption if it's a girl. If I'm wrong, I apologize. She was mentioning she was having issues with the whole texting, calling situation. So if anyone has any video topics around that or any advice they want me to give in form of a video, shoot me a private message or comment. Anyways, so let's talk about my first girlfriend. I'm surprised I've never told this fucking story because I've literally talked about, I think, most of the other relationships I've been in, which haven't been many. I'm very straightforward about the fact that there hasn't been any. I'm not a dude who's overly experienced, which is funny because I say that, but then I see dudes in the comments talking about they've never been on a date in their lives. So I guess I'm not bottom tier, but still, it doesn't really matter. I know dudes who've never been on a real date before because the first girl they were with ended up being their wife. Some people are just lucky like that, some people aren't. Or some people haven't really experimented, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, so first girlfriend, I don't remember when we started talking. I know we were still talking when I was in college, but I know I met her before college because I was still interacting with people from high school. I remember I went out, I don't want to say I went out on a double date, and it was from one of my friends from high school, and I know I didn't interact with her pretty much after we graduated. So I'm going to take a guess and say I got with her when I was 16 or 17. I'm going to say 17. So the way we met, ironically enough, was through the damn job again. I used to work in a library as like a student helper or whatever. And usually, at least my branch, there were 3 students and then like 3 or 4 full-time workers. And I remember, I think it was a Saturday, like a Friday or Saturday, I want to say Saturday, where it was me and one of the other students. I'm going to just call him Joe because he's not that important to the story, but I also don't want to put his name out there because I know he's in the military. And I don't know if I think he's still in the military. So for right now, we'll call him Joe. So me and him were BSing, talking, because, as a student at the library, you don't have to do a lot. You do stuff, but you don't do like an insane amount of stuff. So we were on some downtime just at the front desk, waiting for people to come check out their books or movies or if they need any help. And this girl walks in who's around my age. And I guess to give you some context, Joe is the type of person who is very animated. I don't know if you've ever had those kind of friends. Dude is like super hyper. I'll give you an example. Like around 5 o'clock, we're supposed to give the announcement that we close in 30 minutes. You tell Joe to go do this, and Joe's response is to run up and hop up on one of the tables and be like, everybody, it's late, so that's why I'm not yelling loud, but everybody, library closed in 30 minutes. Whatever you gotta do it now. Because in 30 minutes, you ain't gonna be able to. Also, computers just shut down. Click. Like, he's super animated about everything he does. Which, granted, makes him entertaining as hell, but it also makes him kind of jarring because he's very impulsive by nature. But anyway, so this girl walks in. I think she's looking for some books or whatever. She's there for a little bit, and me and him are talking because he's never, ironically enough, the conversation me and him were having was about the fact that I haven't really dated much. Because even at 16 or 17, you still haven't dated nobody? That's the kind of shit that comes that's the kind of stuff that comes up, let's be real here. So, me and him are talking, and she walks up, and I think she's just checking out some books or whatever. She checks out some books, and then he's looking at me, he's like, well, man, what kind of girls are you into? And I kind of said it, be fair, I said it at a whim. I was honest about it, but I still said it at a whim. I was like, I don't know. And I said, the girl that just left, she was kind of cute. Because she'd already walked out the door, mind you. I said, the girl that just left, she was kind of cute. And my friend Joe's goofy ass goes like, that girl? I was like, yeah, that girl. Oh, hold on a second. And he runs around the desk and runs out the door to go get her. This man, it still trips me out. This is how I got my first girlfriend. This man ran outside because it wasn't like I was sweating it to that degree. But this man ran outside and got her and brought her back in and pretty much put me on the spot. He runs over there to me. He goes, here she is. He's like, here he is. And then he gives me like the thumbs up and runs in the back. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. So you I said that in passing. You took that as I'm going to go get her for you. Y'all going to start talking. And so I was like, well, I don't want to do this at the front desk. And I don't know granted, the management there was cool. You still don't want that to happen because while they're out there. So I kind of took her towards the front door again. And we're talking. And I'm like, I was just telling my friend I thought you were very pretty. And since he's gone and made this big show out of it, I was curious if I could get your number. We're going to call the girl Patricia because, once again, this is my first relationship, but it's also one of the it's probably the weirdest of the relationships I've had. I'll be real with you. And I'll explain it as we go along. So I'm like, okay. And Patricia's like, sure. I'm surprised she took it as well as she was. But she took it pretty well. Even though it was really random. I was going to find out later that he and her go to the same fucking school. Didn't know that at the time. I found out later. So when she goes, oh yeah, I know Joe. You know Joe. Oh, me and him go to the same high school. Son of a bitch. I didn't know they went to the same high school. He screwed me over because he didn't tell me. Not like it made a big deal. It was just kind of a weird thing. So I got a number and we started talking and texting. People also got to remember phones are not as high tech as they are now. Where the hell is my phone? It's on the bed. It's besides the point. They're not touchscreen. I'm using a fucking flip phone. So we're texting each other through flip phones. I think. Yeah, flip phones. Because I don't even think I got a touchscreen until I was maybe like right after college. Like it was early. Like I wasn't that far removed from touchscreens. But like touchscreens were still kind of in their early stages. And I think the first touchscreen that came out was like Apple stuff. And most people couldn't afford that. So, yeah. So we're texting on flip phones and everything. We started talking and whatnot. And I proceeded to take her out. Ironically enough, she didn't live that far away from me. I actually know I still can get to where she lives now because I pass it a lot. She lived within the neighborhood. It's weird because I haven't even been down that road since me and her stopped talking. But there's not a lot to say. From what I understood, her family was originally from Louisiana and they moved here. And it was like, okay, cool. We were talking, texting, and we dated for about a year. She was my first kiss. We didn't go that much further than that, I'll say that. It wasn't like, if I'm still a virgin, that should tell you. I didn't go all the way, but she was my first kiss. And we did fool around, but it wasn't anything crazy. Cool girl, very nice girl, had some siblings and whatnot. I'm gonna kind of skip through the year because the year was just like normal dating shit. I'm also, because I'm the type of dude, if we're gonna start dating, like, I'm in it for a long haul. So a year is about what I would expect for me even now. Like, if I'm talking to you, I don't plan us to be just dating for a few months, which I find crazy nowadays. People are like, I was dating him for a long time. How long you been dating? About 3 months. What? I know people's perception is different. I'm just saying. So anyways, me and her started talking. Patricia were cool. Dated. All that fun stuff. About a year, I think it was around a year goes by. And one of the things I had noticed up until this point is that I've always picked her up at her, because she didn't have a car. I picked her up at the apartment she was at, which she lived with her family. But like I've never been in her apartment. Even though she came here to my house. I actually remember the first kiss I had was on the couch downstairs. It's fucking ridiculous. It was, I could get into the story isn't really that interesting. It's literally, I brought her over to introduce her to my mom. And my mom was like, well, we're gonna go get something to eat. And so me and her were on downstairs alone. Because my mom was still not playing those games. She was like, look, I know you. I know you as a boy, young adult, you got a girl in the room, not doing that. So I had to stay downstairs with her, and we watched the movie or something, and I was trying to be slick, and we kissed. It was so dumb. I'll go ahead and tell it. It was so stupid. So we're sitting down on the couch watching the movie, and I was nervous because I had never done that. It didn't feel normal because I didn't know how to do it properly. So like, not the kiss, but like to get to bring the interaction to a kiss. I didn't know how to do it. So the way I did is like, we're sitting there, I got my arm around her arm or her shoulder, and we're watching the film. And then I said, fuck it. I think I went for this weird out of left field move where I decided to lay my head on her lap. Like, I don't think I set it up at all. I was just like, I think we were like doing really mild bantering. Like, I don't even remember what I said. It was like really, like, how are you? It wasn't like introductory, like, how are you? I'm fine shit. But it was like, I think I said something like, you were really pretty tonight or something along those lines. And then I got mad reckless and decided to lay down. And she, like, humored me and lay down with me. So, like, we're both laying on this couch. And at this point, and it was funny because I was like, she laid down, but she laid down, like, on the couch. So, I could see the TV, and she's now only facing me, which was already kind of nuts for me, dude. You don't understand that. That's like the closest a girl has been to my face. And me, like a smart ass, did ask, I went, how you supposed to see TV? She goes, there's more important things to be looking at right now. And I was like, fuck me. I was not ready at all for that. And it was weird because I did some bullshit by initiating it. And so we're laying there, and I said, fuck it. I mean, because at that point, what do? She's looking dead at me, and there's nothing to distract her. So I'm like, this is like either open invitation or whatever. So that's when we kiss. So we're kissing each other while laying down on the couch. And it's crazy because the way our house is like, my mom none of us use the front door. We always go in the back door. And the back door is like right behind the couch. So like literally it's going to be my mom opening the door, and the first thing she would see is us kissing. And I was like, oh, and my paranoia, which you don't care about. In the middle of a kiss, you don't give a shit about any of that crap. And so we sat there for a good, I want to say, 30 minutes? It's crazy. This is shit that ain't even relevant to the story. The crazy part of the story ain't even came yet. But that is probably one of the more notable things that I can say online. Like, we were just kissing. It was like, it's so weird to talk about this even though it's been so long. It's so weird. It's like you're just sitting there laying down kissing. Crazy, yo. It's not even that big of a deal. It's just crazy to me. I'm stupid. So she didn't catch us, by the way. She never found out. I still don't think she knows. And it's not even a big deal, but that we were sitting there kissing on the couch. I think she assumed because there is no mom who assumes their son is not going to kiss the girl. Like, it's just not going to happen. Either the girl's going to initiate it and I initiate it. And the cool thing is once you kiss a girl or you kiss your girlfriend, at that point you don't give a fuck. You just get reckless. Like, I think the next time we were together, that's when I did the lap shit. We both laid down on the couch the first time. The second time, I just laid on her lap. And I did this shit where I was trying to do like a bullshit ass sit up and got my face and like lifted my head and wanted her to meet me halfway. And she met me halfway. Anyway. It's like this weird tangent about the kissing. It's stupid. I'm not smooth at all, fucks, but god damn it. I took that as a W that day. I don't give a fuck, yeah. Anyways, so we dated for about a year, and I think one of the first issues with me was the fact that I had never been upstairs and met her siblings or her siblings at all. The second thing is that I started noticing either our conversations would bore the shit out of me. It's like we didn't call each other every day, but it was frequent enough to where it was like I could ask the questions, hey, how are you? How are you doing? What's going on? And it wouldn't be anything like out of the ordinary. But the problem is the conversation never really went past those introductory things And there might have been some slight deviation of what was going on during that day or night or whatever. But like we didn't get to talk that much. It wasn't like we went out all the time because she didn't have a car, and I had work and schools, and so did she. So, and then sometimes she had to babysit her siblings. So timing was an issue. I think that's probably the reason why I made that video a while ago about trying not dating a girl beneath you intellectually. That's what this relationship turned into. Where she wasn't like dumb, but it was definitely like I felt like I was hitting a way above. I was shooting way below what I could be talking to intellectually, and it started getting worse and worse. And I think the worst thing was, I think it was on Valentine's Day. I had bought her some stuff, and I was gonna take her out, and like I don't remember the context of what happened, but I remember it was something along the lines where she like waited until the very last minute to cancel shit. And it just bummed me the fuck out, and it pissed me the fuck off. On top of like, I think when I finally was able to give it to her, she seemed insanely indifferent about it, and it just, and all that comes with everything else that was going on. I just said fuck it. I'm just tired. And so I was the one who initiated the breakup. She didn't break up with me. I broke up with her, and it was, and looking back on it, it was some of the coldest shit you could ever do to a girl. I don't know why I did this. It's weird because most people tell you, and I probably agree with it, that I'm more cynical now than I was when I was like 18 or so. So it was crazy that this was even going on. But like, I think I had said, I don't remember the full conversation, but I remember at the very end of the conversation, after I told her, I was like, I don't think we should do this anymore. I had said something along the lines of, do you have anything else you need to say? Because it's probably the last time we were going to talk again. Like, I said some really dickish shit. And it was kind of uncalled for because there was no reason for it. But I was like, is there anything else you want to say to me? Because it's the last time we're probably going to talk. And I'm like, and she's like, no. Why would you even say it like that? And I'm like, and honestly, I don't know why I said it like that, but I said it like that. So we broke up after like dating for a year. Although that's not the end of the story. So I still remain cordial with her because I would still see her occasionally. In very rare instances, more like all the time, like once out of like 3 months or some shit. And I remember she still had my number. She called me asking for a ride. She had got like a summer job at the movie theater, which was like 5 minutes from the house. So I didn't really sweat it. And she lived close, like I said before, so it wasn't a problem. But I said, sure. So I drove her. I think I drove her consistently for like a few weeks. Wasn't a big deal because it only lasted until like the end of July. So I didn't have an issue with it. And I do remember in the middle of those drives, she did ask me. She stopped me one day. It was like I had got to the movie theater and dropped her. I was about to drop her off, and she closed the door. Like she opened it for a second, then she closed. She goes, "Oh, I really appreciate you doing all this for me. It's really sweet." I'm like, "Ah, yeah, no problem. It's not a big deal." And then she grabs my hand. That's still on like the steer, not the steer. It was on the gear shift, I think. And she was like, "Do you still like me?" Like it was something along those lines. I was like, "Yeah, I still like you." And that's when she asked me, "Do you want to get back together?" And I was like, "Nah." I wasn't nowhere near as mean about it as I was when we broke up. I was just kind of, look, you're cool and everything, but honestly, I just think we're not into each other like that. Like, I don't think me and you click in that way. And so that was the last thing. She only asked me once, and then after that, we kind of just want to move on. Like, I still drove her, and then summer ended, and I didn't see her for a while. I think the next time I saw her, she had got a new boyfriend. Dude was a fucking bum. I'm not even gonna lie. He wasn't like a dick to me or nothing, but he was a fucking bum. Now here's the end of the story. Here's where things get kind of weird because I still am not really happy about how things with me and her, our interactions ended because it was out of fucking nowhere. Although I don't feel like I did anything wrong at the end of it. So the end of the relationship is, I think I was in, at this point it's like around my first year of college. So this is probably like my second semester. And I remember she already, and I already knew this was coming. What I forgot to mention is that Patricia had, the situation with her and her family was that her family being from, I think this was some Katrina shit maybe. This is some post-Katrina stuff. That's what was going on. But it wasn't her parents. I think it was like her sister, her older sister. She moved down here with her older sister and her kids, and some of her own siblings. And I think the whole reason why I never went upstairs to meet them was because I don't think her sister liked me, like, at all. And I knew, and one of the big things in our relationship when we were dating is I knew was that her and her sister did not get along, which is a problem because she's technically the guardian. So you're like, fuck, you got to deal with it. So what apparently had happened, this all came to a head around, I want to say my first or second semester in college, where apparently her sister gave her an ultimatum, said, look, we're either moving back to Louisiana or you staying here. I think it was something along the lines of her essentially kicking her out, saying we're about to move back to Louisiana, so either you can come with us or you're staying here. And I think she didn't want to leave Georgia. So the situation came up and she called me and she was like, she told me the situation and asked me if she could stay with me. And I was like, one, we're not dating. Two, my mom wouldn't go for that anyway. Like, you think my mom was going to go for a girl that I don't even date anymore or have any interest in dating anymore, staying in my house? I said, why don't you ask your boyfriend? Well, it's because his boyfriend, I think the boyfriend ain't shit. I think she knew the boyfriend wasn't shit. It was a rebound. That dude was a rebound. You could tell. And so all that shit kind of went on that night, and I told her, I said, I don't think I can help. But I was still concerned to a degree because, for one, she was my first girlfriend, and I still cared to some degree about it. The next day, her boyfriend calls me, which confuses me because I'm like, one, how the hell did you get my number? That was my first question. How the hell did you get my number? Goddamn. But he calls me saying, I can't find her. And I was like, what do you mean you can't find her? It's like, she's gone. I can't find her. And I'm like, oh, God. It's like, can you call her? And so I tried calling her. I said, but he called me right before I was going to class. So it was literally like I was at the college in the parking lot, and he called me, and I'm about to get out to go to class. So I'm like, I'll call her, but I can't really do anything until I get out of class. So I called a few times. She wouldn't pick up. I said, fuck it, I gotta go to class. I went to class, came back, called her a few more times throughout the day, couldn't get her. And then I called her boyfriend back, couldn't get him. And that's the end of the story. I'm not even joking. That's literally how my interactions with this girl ended. And her boyfriend. It was literally that day he couldn't find her and I couldn't find her. No one knew where she was at. And he never responded to my calls when I called him back after I got out of class. And neither would she. And so shit just kind of fell through. That's not even a joke. There is no punchline. That's literally what happened. And that was the last day. I think it was that day or maybe that week. That week was the last time I ever even saw or interacted with her. And that's it. I don't know if she ever went back to Louisiana. I don't know if she stayed here. I don't even know if the boyfriend is over there. And that was probably 7, 8 years ago. It's one of the weirdest. It's ironic for it to be my first girlfriend. It's weird. It was just a weird situation because me and her had stopped dating. I think I had known her for about 2 or 3 years total, and like we only dated for one of those 3 years, and then our interactions, relationship in any form, ended because she fucking just disappeared. Because I don't know if she went back, and the problem is because I've never been to the apartment. I don't even know I knew she was on like the top floor of the apartments, but I didn't know which room, so I couldn't go check. But I'm like, if he couldn't find her, I assumed he checked that much. So my only guess is that she probably ended up going back to Louisiana because she probably had no other choice. And I felt bad, but I was like, damn, you didn't even. Which means she probably left her boyfriend. But like I said, I don't think she was into her boyfriend like that anyway. I think that was a rebound. was one. I don't know. That's part of the reason. I think part of the reason why I don't like to tell the story because it has a weird ending. That's a weird ending. That the last of our relationship, our interactions just dropped off because she either moved or fucking disappeared. I like to think that she moved back to Louisiana. Ironically enough, I couldn't even. I think I even tried looking her up. I don't think she ever had a Facebook. I think there was some shit going on with her and her sister and that whole family situation, and things got kind of messy. Which actually could lead me into another story about my friend that I don't know if I want to tell the story. You've actually seen the friend in videos before. But I don't know if I want to tell the story because the story is kind of convoluted. Even now it's convoluted. I don't know if he'd be cool with me telling the story. But yeah, that's the story of my first girlfriend. One of the weirdest. It's my first girlfriend. Some cool firsts, but just a weird ending to that relationship because we just couldn't talk anymore for a reason I still don't know. I might even, you know what, after I do this, I might even look her up and see if I can find her on Facebook. It's been like 8 years. It'd be surprising if she didn't have a Facebook now or some sort of social media, but I don't know. Anywho, that's the story. A little weird, a little entertaining. Hope you got something out of it. Cool chick. I'll never forget her just because of that. Just because of her being the first. But I wouldn't mind seeing her again only because I'd be curious how she's doing. But yeah. Anyone leave their thoughts, comments, questions for future videos, all that kind of stuff in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Click the notification bell to get more. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. This has been the Vlogs Game for your boy Terrell. Peace.